Welcome to 5 Minutes of Sunshine for Teachers. I'm your host, Kevin Fitch. If you are a teacher, have been a teacher, want to be a teacher, or just love somebody who is a teacher, this podcast is for you. So, what is this podcast even about? Well, we teachers continually sharpen our skills and improve our craft with all sorts of professional development. And in a way, this podcast is professional development. I know, when you hear those words, professional development, you might be skeptical. But I think this podcast will be different because here you'll get something we teachers rarely get. Encouragement. Something to keep you going, to affirm your work, to let you know again and again that teaching is full of wonder, that it is the most rewarding profession you'll ever find. This podcast is simple, really. Each episode is short and sweet, just 5 to 10 minutes, because I know how precious your time is. I'll give you a colorful, sweet, or bittersweet short story from my adventures in teaching. These are the things from my days in the classroom that made me smile, laugh out loud, sometimes even cry. These are the things that are unique to a teacher's life, things that brought me joy. My only ask is that you listen and use these podcasts to recharge and reflect. Connect these stories to your teacher world. Use them as another reason to keep on teaching. Maybe this podcast will be the boost you need when the days are too long, when there's not enough coffee in the world to get through the afternoon math class, when your patience with your students has worn thin. I hope these snapshots of our days as teachers will help you again remember the joy and wonder of teaching. So, who am I and how am I qualified to give you this professional development of encouragement? Well, I've been an elementary school teacher for 25 years, and I am finally retiring this year. I'm tired, I'm done, hallelujah. There's definitely joy in this decision, no doubt, but there's also fear. Too many times I wonder if being a teacher was worth it. Were all the long days, endless meetings, mountains of papers to grade, lessons to plan, challenges with difficult kids and their parents really worth it? Way too easily, I can lose sight of my why. Now, people tell me, of course, that it was worth it. They say things like, you got to teach hundreds of kids how to make sense of math, how to read and write, how to work peacefully with people they don't really like. You got to open their eyes to new worlds. You helped lay the foundation for the rest of their lives. And this is all true. And it does validate this teacher life I've known for a quarter of a century. To a point. But what truly, really helped me this last year of teaching was to collect a moment or an event, something quirky, from each day that moved me, that gave me pause to reflect, that helped me celebrate. Things that made me glad to be a teacher. I purposely looked for memories that affirmed my why. These stories helped me know in my heart that yes, teaching is the greatest job in the world, and that yes, it was worth it. I hope that these memories, these stories of teaching will be a catalyst for you, so that you can also remember your why. Remember your why. Because it's too easy to get bogged down in the grind of teaching, to become lost in expectations that can seem unattainable. And then there's the people in our job. They can be discouraging to say the least, because they're just people being people. So cling to the good stuff, the 5 minutes of sunshine in your day. There you will find your why, I promise. So why call this podcast 5 Minutes of Sunshine? Well, the idea was born on the playground during my recess duty. In the midst of the chaos that is recess, I loved to find a way to be still for a moment, to find a bit of rest, to soak in just a little sunshine. For a moment, I'd just stand there, usually with a faraway, goofy smile on my face, and I would just enjoy the sunshine. Whether the sun was shining away warm and brilliant in a clear blue sky, or even when the sun was struggling to pierce through clouds. Because it wasn't just about the sunshine, It was about recharging and rejuvenating for the next round of teaching. The first time my teammate saw me standing there on the playground smiling at the sun, she walked over and asked me if I was okay. I told her I was fine. I was just getting my 5 minutes of sunshine. She laughed, called me a dork, because that's the kind of relationship we had, and then she moved on. But a few days later, at recess, I saw her standing still, next to the playground equipment, swarming with kids, and she was looking up at the sky and smiling, getting her 5 minutes of sunshine. From then on, we both called recess our 5 minutes of sunshine. And so often, this break was enough to help us get through the rest of the day. So, enjoy the 5 minutes of sunshine coming your way. I hope it will get you through the next set of I have to's, the I don't want to's, the I hate teaching moments. Maybe, hopefully, prayerfully, you'll be rejuvenated and fired up to do the most amazing, powerful, life-altering job in the universe, teaching. The first 2 episodes are up and running and ready for you to enjoy. Then I'll drop new episodes on Mondays because I know that Monday being Monday, any encouragement is appreciated. So that's it for now. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you again next time for 5 minutes of sunshine for teachers.